So, is your party, political party especially, whom you believing in, is a left-wing party or right-wing party? The real question which arises is how we can identify that party is actually left-wing party or a right-wing party. Well, there are few parameters, or if not, according to you, those parameters can be different, and from my perspective or from point of view, it could be very different. But first of all, we need to learn few things about the history, from where these terms are coined or originated from. Let's deep down into history first. Well, these terms are used to describe the opposite ends of political spectrum during the late you know 1700s, during the French Revolution, and somewhere in the summer of 1789, when there were two people during the French Revolution, during the formation of the French Constitution, those who were in support of the royalist, the royal family, they were collected and they were sitting on the right side of the royal family, and those who were anti-royalist, who does not like the idea of the traditional royalist family, they were sitting on the left side in the parliament, or you can say, if not, the places where they were gathering around. So from there, they started to come around. Those people who were sitting from the left, they were called the left wingers, and the people who were sitting on the right from of those royalists, they were called as right wingers. But later on, when the Napoleon came in, these things were quite tuned down. But as Napoleon was gone, and and towards the mid of 1800s, these things do started to re-rise again. And this time the newspapers started to use the word by saying traditional, as usual, traditional right wingers, and more upfront, or you can say progressive left. And towards the 20th century, all the major English speaking countries were also using these terms, including India as well, although we were not the English speaking country, obviously, even after the British left us. uh, but due to British rule, and due to British influence, we also started to use these terms, left wingers and right wingers. Now this was a little history of from where these terms came around. Now, first of all, let's talk about uh, the parameters which are going to describe whether the political party is a left wing party or a right wing party. So, a political party belonging to the left side of the political spectrum usually, have members who are very progressive in thought process, in the perspective of the India, especially. We still have those caste systems which are very disintegrating, and is one of the biggest reason for the division in between the people, the caste systems. So the progressive people used to dethrone the caste system. They used to bring people together. This is what left winger used to do back then. And if you talk about the traditional party, well, there was no traditional party at that time. Traditional party, or I can say right wing party, when there was one of the largest and is still surviving left political party in India. It was the Congress, and there was no right winger party at the time. Later on, few right wing parties, political parties, came up, but one of the major right wing political party which grew up, it was, I think it was in late 1980s, if not 70s. I'm not sure. You can correct me on that one. It was the BJP, which stands for Bharatiya Janata Party, and they were also not. And it is very contrasting here. You can see, as by these newspapers during after the Napoleon Bonaparte, these newspapers started to coin the term conservative, or I can say traditional right wingers, the old ways, people from the old ways and people from the new ways, especially. But here, in from the Indian perspective, it was very unique sometimes that right winger parties, even in their manifesto, in the political manifesto, they are stating or saying some things which are which may sound very progressive, because we are acquainted by the term, we are wired by these terms that right wingers are traditionalist. They like to do the things the old ways. But in the perspective of India, these things are very different. The right wingers in India are trying to unwire the things which are which are very degrading, and they are trying to push the progressive ideas into the society, that we need to be collective, we need to stop discrimination on the base of caste. We all are humans, first of all, that is true. Second, we are Indians. First of all, we are just basic humans. You and I have the same heart, we and lungs, and the same body. We can be of different color, we can be of different height, health, gender, no problem. But we are human beings, and we are Indians. We are together in all the things, we are together. So we should never discriminate against each other. These are the thoughts of right wing party, which is one of the biggest right wing party, which I already told, which is BJP. It is written in their manifesto also. So now Congress has been doing the same as well, at least in their manifesto. But is it really on the ground what the Congress wanted to implement, or which they were saying they are going to implement? Have they ever implemented? A lot of people will agree, a lot of people will disagree. What I think about is not the perspective here, is not the question, sorry. Rather, the question is, the party for which you guys are opting for is actually a left winger party, or it is a centralized party, or it is a right wing party? Because what mainly right wing used to be, there is no perfect term coined, or there is no book written on. There is many book written, but there is no journalized term written by some holy book criteria for right wingers. With every person comes a different perspective. With different perspective comes different way of or observing, a way of looking at different situations. So for others, is a left wing party can be a right wing party, or it can be extreme left party or extreme right party. It depends on perspective, first of all. So this is basically a discussion. The situation in which the party is, upon the situation, you need to judge that yes, this party is doing it right or wrong. I'm not saying the party which the other party tries to identify as is not going to be the party which they want to be. Of course, they can be whatever the side they want. Of course, if they want to be a left party, they can be the left party. But it depends on their action at the current situation in our country. They are going to justify themselves as the left winger they are claiming to be, or the right winger they are not claiming to be, but they are ending up because of their actions. So it is very contrasting, it's very messy, but it's a vague term. It's like a bar on which left, the more left you go, the more extreme you become, then you become a communist. Or if you go towards the more right side of the bar, you become you become a right winger, then you become extreme right winger, then you become a fascist. So these are the things which we need to keep in mind. And we need to reassist that our beloved, that one political party whom we love a lot. There might be some people who don't love one party. They try to just compare many parties together at that time, how they're reacting. But so a lot of people are going to have their one party whom they love a lot. You don't need to dive into that party every time. You need to assist them through that bar, that okay, this is the bar, this is the benchmark of for all the political parties. Then you need to assist them based on their actions and their statements given by their respective speakers and representatives of that political party, how they are behaving, how they are reacting in those political situations. Stay tuned for more such discussions. I hope you may get some interesting and contrasting thoughts about the left wingers and the right wingers. There's still more room to discuss. I hope you enjoy. Thank you. And do subscribe, like, share, and comment. And stay tuned for more. Thank you.